Once upon a time, in faraway land, a little green bug blew in, and that's where it all began. When I was knee high to a katydid, I thought that I could plant a little tree. By the time I was an old man, I'd have a big old tree like this one here. I got older and found out it don't quite work that way. A tree this age would probably be 100, 200 years. Some of the real big ones, maybe 3. So it pains me, is what I'm saying, to try to cut a tree like this big, but it'd be dead. The reason it'd be dead, an emerald ash borer beetle came in and killed all these beautiful ash trees. So we've been trying to drop these logs. We're going to cut them into big sections, and if my wife and me need a addition to the house someday, is make nice hardwood floors, maybe side and inside. So maybe you never saw a tree get dropped before, or grow up with your paw like I did, cutting firewood for the wood stove, so you get to see a little bit of what it's like. Okay. Now, when you go to a Lowe's or a lumber yard, pick out a few choice boards for yourself, give yourself a moment, reflect on how this board got to be here. It's a little more involved than one might think. Now, logging's a bit destructive by nature. When a big old tree falls down, it's bound to take out some small trees. So now your clearing's bigger than just that one tree by itself. Now, once the tree's dropped, you gotta cut off the limbs and cut the trunk into log lengths. These usually be lengths like 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, so even sections. When you're sawing on a tree or waiting for it to drop, it's pretty common. You want to look up. That's where you're first going to see the tree moving, is way up at the tippy top. You don't want to watch the trunk very much. It's way up yonder. That be the weight. It makes this string go straight down, and he compare that to the tree and say, the tree want to come, which way do it want to come?
Over that way. Just straight up on this branch here.
And then he's going to try to cut this tree to make it go where it wants to go. He adjusts a little bit where he wants it to go.
Yeah, he clearly wants to go up the hill.
Now, when you actually get down to sawing the logs into boards, there's a lot of waste that goes into this that you probably never really thought about when you're looking at that board in Lowe's. You know, you got a big pile of sawdust for where the blade goes through. You got a whole lot of slab wood. It's got bark on the outside. It's the curved part. So you got to take the log down from a circle down into a squared off chunk, and then you start slabbing off the boards from there. Not only that, the tree has its own imperfections. You might have a rotten spot going down into her. All those sorts of things. You might have a wind split where the wind shook the tree on a especially windy day and split her up vertically, so to speak. This here tree was one I was most sorry to see go down. It was a good view, biggest tree around the house. When it came time, we cut her into an 10 foot log, I believe. The skid loader couldn't pick her up, so we had cut off 2 foot, made it an 8 foot log. The skid loader could only push it forward, and then right at the last minute, we got her up.
That's what it was. That little splinter is what held that.
Oh, that's insane. Wow, it's a big tree in my book.
cracked that cedar and broke it
It
off.
really did. I brought a spare. Thought if I get one chainsaw stuck, use the other to get you out of the bind. Well, here's my bind. As you can see, tugging on this pretty good, and it's just as tight as can be. And I came in here with this second chainsaw. It's got just a little bit of movement. That's about all it'll do. Out of the bind. Now once the logs will be cut up into lengths, you got to drag them out to where the portable sawmill will be set up and get ready to saw. Now we might be tempted to think that we do things independently all on ourselves. I couldn't have done this here project on my own, not a chance. Think about how many people helped me. Sawmill guy, my father who helped me drop the trees, he ran the tractor, he even let me store his boards in his outbuildings. My uncle, he loaned the tractor, a skid loader, and then my neighbor, he dropped some trees that were too big for our chainsaws. And then another neighbor loaned us a tool when the sawmill broke. And then my mother-in-law, washed our daughter while I worked. If you really want to take this further out, you could look at the people who built the sawmill, that built the truck, the saws, rubber for the tires, so on and so forth. Point is, you just can't do things by yourself. You're tempted to think that business be about what you call money and efficiency. In reality, it be relationships. You gotta have good relationships to have good businesses. All I did was saw the trees, go out and found people to help me for the project. Woo! It's a big one. Big one up here too. Biggest one here in the mill. That's right. And someday we'll live happily ever after in a house built of wood that the little green bug ate.